Hey, thank you and welcome on Andre Renee's Creative Cafe. This show focuses on the arts and artists' God-given talent. We strongly believe that you are your passion. Before we introduce Amy, well, I guess I just did, right? We want to thank every one of the 632 people, minus the 600, that came out to my branded event. We had a blast. We had a ball. You guys came. You showed out. You promoted your business. We were able to give Grace Beyond Borders to the microphone. He told people exactly what he do. His plans this year is to sleep where the homeless sleep, to shine a light on what they're going through. So they're not the secret society. There are people that need help, and that's why we had this event, so we can help generate income. Our event was to generate income to give to them. And so we're so happy that we were able to do that. So big ups to Grace Beyond Borders. Big ups to the poets that came. Lauren Duke, she sung. And guys, if you were there, you would have saw the magic that happened. How about that? So I just wanted to tell everybody thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't name everybody individually because it was just 632 people minus the 600. So, Amy, is it Penne?
It's Amy Penne.
Penne.
Like the pasta.
Okay, Penne. And you have an extensive, wonderful bio. And it caught me off guard. Because, well, we're going to get to that later into the show. But let's talk about the program, Let It Flow.
Okay. Let It Flow is the ministry birthed from God, because it wasn't me or anybody else, that we have at our home church, and that's Advancing Christ Kingdom Ministries, Michigan City.
Big ups to them.
Yes, yes. Under the direction of Pastor D.R. Glenn and Pastor Patricia Glenn. Okay. That is our spoken word ministry. It's a prophetic ministry. We do regularly scheduled open mics with not just poets, but spoken word artists, praise dancers, whatever your God-given talent is, bring it. And we let it flow.
Sounds like that whole church could come on the show.
Absolutely, yes.
So praise, worship, praise dancing.
Praise dance.
The mimes. And
yes, all of that.
So that's Let It Flow. And that's, now I take it they're married.
Oh, yes.
And are they co-pastors?
He is the pastor, and she is also a pastor with him, but he is the head.
Okay, right. And how long have you been going to this church?
7 years.
7 years. So when you was 21?
Yeah.
There you go.
Forgive me, Lord, for that lie.
Well,
but you're just 25.
I'm 25, right. My buddy posted that on his Instagram page. I was celebrating with Andre Renee his 25th birthday.
See?
I was like, it's catching on.
It's written. If it's written, it is true.
It's a true lie.
And if it's on the internet, it is true.
I know, right? Everything's on it. It's just perfectly honest.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, we have the wonderful, well, we can't get into politics. And so tell us about Team at Ease.
Team at Ease. Salute.
There you go.
That's our catchphrase.
Okay.
Salute. Yes. We are based out of Chicago, spoken word group. Actually just an artist performing arts group, because we also do motivational speaking, poetry, spoken word, all of that. And every first Sunday we have an open mic scheduled on the west side at AJ Styles Barbershop.
Wow.
And I'll have to put in the link or share the address. I don't want to mess it up, but it's on the west side of Chicago. I'm not from Chicago, so my GPS could give you the address really easily.
Right.
Off the top of my head, not so much.
So you drive way out there, just a little bit past Valparaiso, way to the west side of Chicago.
I do.
Wow.
I do.
To the west side of Chicago. Wow.
To God be the glory.
To God be the glory.
For that travel.
Hallelujah, Jesus. When you see this video, you guys will understand why. That she's a bold soul. God, he's your co-pilot.
He absolutely
and
is. He's the driver. I just ride along.
So how did you become a part of that? At AJ's Barbershop?
At AJ's, yes. We call it a salon.
Okay, copy that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
A salon?
Salon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pinky finger there too?
Yes. Grab some air. Stay long.
Oh, that's what you. Oh, that's what that is. I just saw the people doing this kicking thing, and I didn't even know that was a real dance. I thought somebody was having a stroke or something. So I can't
I'm the wrong one.
Oh, okay, right. There you go. He's
when
laughing.
You see the video, you'll get it.
Right. Yeah, you have to see the video to know what I'm talking about. I was in a van with one of the young lady who helped me with the event. And so she told me what she has kids. And she was like, that's she said the name of the day. So she did it a lot better than I did. And it's just, they're more Italian than African American, and that's what happened.
His foot was under the table moving, you all.
Oh, okay. Hopefully they won't know what we're talking about. But
Okay.
so how did you become a part of this? How did you get to the west side of Chicago and to become a part of Team at Ease?
Well, before becoming a member of Team at Ease, I was a member of Poet, which is People of Extraordinary Talent.
Right.
And so the whole Chicago poetry scene is what just grabbed me. I came in as a sponge, knowing nothing, knowing no one, but needing all of them to help me become something and someone who God intended me to be. So that was the avenue of learning how to be a spoken word artist, as well as what it looked like and what other people were doing on the scene and how to be a part of that.
How large is this program?
At Team at Ease,
Right.
we actually have less than 12 members,
Okay.
but at our open mic and at our regular events, we sometimes host up to 300 to 400 people.
Now, oh wow, whoa.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to the Black Pearl for their spoken word on in Bronzeville, Hyde Park area? Once a month, if Black Pearl has, or maybe once a week. You could go to their website. How about that? And you can get the full details.
Yeah.
And I know Yvette Warren. Big shout out to Yvette Warren. We had an event yesterday that I couldn't make it to because I actually turned sick after the party.
Oh, no.
So Saturday I was under the covers. But nevertheless, they have a spoken word event there. It's either once a week or once a month. And some of the people that came to our event was talking about it.
Awesome.
So maybe you guys, I'm sure somebody know it, but you just said 400 people will show up? Wow, that's huge.
It is. It is.
Now, is this all grassroots, or do we have some politics involved? Or?
It's really just grassroots. It is reaching out to individual people, bringing them through the door and getting them, whether they want to sit in a chair or behind the microphone, getting them in the building and recognizing that this is a gift and this can reach millions if it's allowed to. And so getting every person through the door is a set of ears that will be blessed.
Do Let It Flow, Team at Ease, or Poet, do these places have websites?
I believe Poet does have a website, and Team at Ease is in the process of developing one. And Let It Flow, we are on our ACKM-MC.org, our entire ministry's website. Yes.
That's the church. So
Yes,
Let It Flow
yes.
is the church ministry. And it's Poet at Team at Ease. Is that secular?
It's both. I mean, every individual comes in as they are. If they come in as a Christian artist, then God bless you, are a
Amen.
Christian
Right,
artist.
right.
But how you use your gift is up to every person.
Indeed.
We don't exclude, but we include every person who has that gift and wishes to share it.
Now, it's so many forms and groups that you're a part of. I could not make notes to everything. Well, we come back from these commercial breaks sponsored by St. Augustine Episcopal Church in Gary, Indiana. We're going to talk about one more of these organizations that you are a part of. Be right back, people. Welcome back to Andre Renee's Creative Cafe. And we are here with Amy, a wonderful fiery poet. When we were at the events Friday, and it was your opportunity to warm the mic, the energy and the fire that you brought, I was like, cameras, please turn the cameras. And I like how you just stood up from there and walked to the front, the interest. What goes behind your delivery?
My delivery is really just, first of all, to get over the nerves. Because my knees shake, I sweat, my heart races. And so I have to use that energy to get it out there. But in Team at Ease, one of our slogans is, feed me your energy and I'll feed it back.
Okay.
So if I'm coming up there with some energy, then I'm trying to pull my crowd in and get them to hear me, but more to feel me.
Right.
And so if I can be a little bit more exuberant, a little more extra, if you will, I'll do it.
So it's just like we're preaching. You say amen somebody. Or, hallelujah somebody.
Yes.
Or come on somebody.
Come on somebody.
I know. know you need me to say what I need to say. So I need you to say, come on somebody, so I can know you're there. Or we're going to have the longest offering service ever.
Yes, see.
So if the room is empty or very few people, are you nervous?
I'm more nervous around a familiar crowd than I am in a room full of strangers. So, but I'm always a little bit nervous.
Always a little
but
bit.
I do believe that God makes me nervous so that I don't get overconfident.
Right.
Because
right.
that's His way of reminding me, Amy, you might have something to say, but you need me to say it.
Amen. Are all of your poems spiritual poems?
They are either spiritual or testimonial. I have some that are not so much spirit-filled or spirit-based, but they're overcoming trauma.
Right.
For me, the thing that being a poet is a person overcoming extreme trauma.
Okay.
And so I usually write from a place of emotion. So I have pieces that are about being sexually abused as a child, about growing up without a father, hurtful pieces from places that I've grown out of. So testimonial.
When I felt pain last year, I had an event in my life that was not horrific, but it was kind of unusual. And my people say, they reminded me that you could use that pain to write. And I did. Yeah. Are you familiar with Quentin Tarantino and his films? Yeah, I got a few poems like that.
Hey,
And
whatever works.
I don't know.
Some things aren't for others either.
I know. I'm not sure if this is, but it's not. And when I recite those poems, people say, that was good, but I need you to leave now. I was like, all right.
Like,
but it's
ooh.
entertainment, though. So I knew it was entertaining, but not that you want to be Quentin Tarantino in real life, but it was just kind of weird. I was like, I don't want to, no, not about that. But I do have one poem that's on that CD and that you can stream. Something a child should never witness. And that was me actually witnessing my mother when she was shot in the head.
Oh my goodness.
She survived, but we still witnessed that. So that poem was easy to make, but it was so frustrating.
Yeah.
It's like, I was a kid and I never ever forgot it. And as an adult, I revisited it. I went and I saw him, and my mom was in the same building, ironically, right? And they were good friends.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you have to forgive.
Yes,
you
do.
have to forgive.
You do.
Stuff happens, and you just have to forgive. So, what drives your poetry? Because you have a lot. You have another one that's called Top Shelf Poetry. So, this group, what is this about?
Top Shelf Poetry was a local group that was created in Michigan City with a couple of very local but well-known artists from Michigan City, Indiana. Carnessa Carnes, Angela Lewis, and also Don Thomas. Shout out to Don Thomas because he's the reason that I write. He's the person who really got me started. And so we just formed the group to go outside of Michigan City, taking Michigan City out.
Wow. That's one, you all over the place. So you're very, very passionate about what you do.
Yeah.
So you said before your passion came from the pain that you experienced. At what age did you figure out, and big ups to Don Thomas because maybe he brought it out as far as the writing. What age, how long ago was that?
I wrote my first piece about 8 years ago. And prior to that, I had no writing experience whatsoever. I write at work. I do narratives and things as a social worker. It's required. But I had never been trained to write poetry, really had never experienced poetry, but had visited a spoken word event just for a place to be and a place to go. So then finally, Don said to me, when are you going to write a piece? And I was, no, I don't write. I just listen. But it was then that it kind of like stuck in my head like, maybe there's something that needs to come out.
Right.
And when I penned that first piece, like you said, it happened easily.
Right.
Because it was just like waiting. It was ready to come out.
What's the name of that first poem?
I don't even know that it has a name.
Oh.
You
never titled it, you just wrote it.
No, it was called that piece because it was all I had.
That piece.
That was,
I like that.
That was it.
The name of the poem was called That
Piece because that was the only thing I thought I would ever write.
I like that. That's
that
you should
piece.
Downplay that. That's a wonderful.
Oh no, I
title.
thank God for that piece because it showed me the plan or one of the plans that God had for me and the avenue to get there. So it was like, that is that piece.
Right. I like that piece.
Yeah.
Did you copyright that?
No, I have not. I've never copywritten any of the
Oh wow,
works.
you need to do that.
I know.
I know a guy who owns a publishing company.
You do?
Right. He's in the room with you now.
What?
Yeah. If you look
Come
around,
on, somebody.
I'm telling you. And we can show you how to copyright everything.
You know, I need that.
You definitely
I do need that.
Because the poem you're about to spit right now, ladies and gentlemen, now the whole world is about to hear, a 20-second version of what you want to spit right now.
Okay.
I call it warming the mic.
Okay.
So would you please warm the mic for us?
I am a messenger, a mouthpiece of God spoken aloud, for I am poetic. I let it flow and it comes out phonetically, maybe a little bit poetically. But let me ask you, is doing poetry my purpose? My God-given kingdom purpose? The one He purposed in me when I was yet in my mother's womb? Should I just write rhymes and speak phrases and recite poetry to amuse people? Or do I use poetry for the purpose of relating to people? See, the spoken word pieces I share are pieces of me, of the God in me. They show that I've been there where she is and where He can't stand to be anymore. But really, they show that if I can find God and if I can find joy, so can you.
Amen. There we go, people. There we go. Now you know she's the real deal. I wish someone would have recorded. Or if you were at the event and you have video of her in her performance, please shoot me that. We need that.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
So, your passion, this is what drives you. But you also are a social worker. So, do you add your passion with, what is your duties? Do your duties give you opportunity to let people know what you do, or for someone to embrace their passion?
It is in that, as a social worker, we're always helping people, working with people. And in my specific line of duty, we work with people with disabilities.
Okay.
And so we're teaching everyone to be treated as an individual and respected and recognized as an individual, and the importance of who they are, regardless of how they walk, how they talk, whether they can walk, any of those abilities. It's not a disability, so we're more teaching them to be about this ability. What is your ability? You may not walk. You may not speak. You may speak volumes with your eyes. And so in that passion, or in that thought process, I share that on a regular basis. Do I really marry the two as far as spoken word and my social work?
Right.
Not so much. We've had an occasional talent show or whatever that they say, Amy, I think you could, and I go, all right. And I do, but not so much, just specifically.
What age group do you work with?
Any.
From child to adult?
Child to adult. Any form of disability.
Wow. When we come back from these commercial breaks, we're going to talk more with Amy. And these commercial breaks are brought to you by Finish Line Auto, located in Hammond, Indiana. Welcome back to Andre Renee's Creative Cafe, where we are with the poet Amy. And you guys missed it. She warmed the mic just a little bit. And we are very gracious that you did this.
Thank
so
you.
You're the second person that did it, but you're our first woman.
Hey!
And as a woman, being the first woman to partake in poetry, we want to talk about the WBE.
Okay.
In 2014, you performed at the Black Women's Expo.
I did.
Tell us about that.
The biggest thing for me, can I just really be honest and transparent, is that I was going to speak at the Black Women's Expo. For those on the radio,
I know, right? I didn't want to say
who don't recognize that I am not a black woman.
You
so
don't say.
I have, blonde hair and everything, very pale. Yeah. So for me to go to the Black Women's Expo, it was like monumental, and I was like, guys, guess where I'm going? No one was like, you could guess a million times, and they're not going to go the Black Women's Expo.
Right.
So for me, it was moving, not just because the stage was huge, but because I was being embraced, and I was being permitted and allowed to be part of this just exuberant event.
Yes.
As someone who had a gift, and regardless of what any of us looked like, we were embracing each other. And that was the gift to me.
That was a wonderful event, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I was there for the first time last year with my children's books, and it was beautiful. The energy was there. It's unexplainable, especially when you're a vendor.
Yeah.
16 hours a day. Didn't feel like it was 5 minutes. It was just so wonderful.
Yep.
What did you do? What did you do there at the Black Women's Expo?
I did that piece.
The piece you just, oh, that piece.
That piece.
The first one, that
I did.
piece. That.
Because at the time, it was all I had memorized.
Ah, and so was it a group thing? It was just.
It was. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so,
Mm-hmm.
but you spoke individually.
Yes.
Okay, so it's a group of people, but you guys had different terms.
Correct.
Now that was with your church. What?
That was with Poet at the time,
Mhm.
because like I said, back then I was part of Poet, so it was pre my term with Eddie's.
Mm-hmm.
Salute.
There you go. Paul, it's people of extraordinary talent, and that's wonderful. How many people performed that day?
Overall, or just with us?
With your group?
With us, I believe there were 10.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's huge.
Yes.
Who facilitated that?
That was the leader of Poet. His name is Black Ice.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I have no idea how he got us on that stage.
Okay.
At that point, I was just so moved to be a part of it. I was just like, okay.
So you just got a call and say, "Hey, Amy, what are you doing?" I'm doing dishes.
Yes.
Well, you're gonna want to sit down. We want you to go to the Black Women's Expo. Yeah, that's great. No, we want you to perform at the Black Women. So was it something like that?
It was something like that.
Wow.
You got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you married then?
No.
Okay.
I just got married January 1st.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I met her husband. He's a wonderful guy.
Yes.
Uh,
Hi, honey.
Yeah, what she said. So, Black Women's Expo, Poet, People of Extraordinary Talent, Team Eddie, salute.
Salute.
I'm getting it right.
Hey.
Let It Flow, that's my number one because it's Christian related.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Hey, how would you advise someone who wants to do what you're doing right now, who's living your passion in such a way that you're working, but you're doing Black Women's Expo, you drive way over to the west side to perform, so on and so forth. What would you do? How would you advise them to jump into what you're doing?
You just have to do it. Like Nike says, just do it,
Mhm.
or just let it flow.
Mhm.
Just let it happen. Never give up. Never quit. No matter regardless of how it looks, you just keep trying. And if one thing doesn't work, you try again.
And ladies and gentlemen, Nike is not a sponsor of Andre Renee's Creative Cafe. If Nike wants to be a sponsor of Andre Renee's Creative Cafe, please give me a call. I mean, acknowledge Paul. Listen,
Absolutely.
I'm saying, you could pay for something.
Yeah.
What's your blueprint for success?
Again, just keep trying.
Try and try and try.
To be who you are, who I am. I can't literally do or look like or be anybody else. So all I can be is what God calls me to be. So that is my blueprint. Figure out what in the world the Lord is leading me to be or to do, and do my best to be it.
What does failure mean to you?
To quit.
Just to quit.
To quit.
Les Brown says, if you fall, land on your back, that way you're facing direction you should go.
Hey!
We have a segment that's called, What Would Jesus Do?
Okay.
And in this topic today, and what would Jesus do? What would Jesus do? And now, we know he's God. We're talking about earthly Jesus. What would Jesus do in the face of fear? So we know he would go forward, but how would he go forward? Would it be a struggle? Would he just, I'm Jesus, obviously he had emotions. Jesus wept when he heard his buddy died, and he in the Garden of Gethsemane, he was like, I wish this cup, Peter could take this cup, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So there was little things, if you know the Bible, really know the Bible, there was just a few things that you showed his humanity. So as a human being, what would Jesus do in the face of fear?
I think that he would move in a humble strength, knowing that literally in Christ all things are possible. And him being the Son of God, it is all possible.
Right. Fear is a crippling thing.
Yes.
And so if you ever read, there's a book that I just read, and it talks about that. So when you have fear, you have to imagine yourself. And obviously Jesus will go forward. And so when Jesus is faced with anything, he would go through. You could do the same thing. Ask yourself, what would I do if I wasn't afraid?
Yes.
People, thank you for listening. Remember, never let the fear of the unknown stop you from starting your dreams. You are your passion. So when fear comes your way, break through that wall, break through that cloud, and know that you can do it. She's doing it in her poetry. I'm doing it in everything that we're doing. And we know that God has our back. So we thank you. We love you. Tune in. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Be blessed.
Thank you. You too.